Hi, it's Robbie, and this morning I'm having coffee out in the garden and doing a little bit of work in my wall garden. I hear this beautiful plant, you've seen it, is seeds that came up from a squash that grew here last year. It's growing with a two system I put together really quick with two floral pots, and there's only two plants there and it's already got fruit. Now that is a plant from last year. That plant is now over 1 year old and it's still growing. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I actually have zucchini on it. Now this is the same as the first one I showed you, that one. This one has got a dozen plants in there. It is too many. You can't have a dozen. That one's got two, and as you can see, they came up at the same time, the seeds from last year. And that one grew beautiful, already has fruit. But when you have a dozen plants, more than what you can have in one system, well then you end up having them fighting. Even though there's tons of nutrients in there, it's root space. They still need to spread their wings. So I'm going to go through here, change it up. You're going to watch me. I'm going to ruthlessly pull out most of them and leave two of the best. And I'll see what else I'm going to do. You'll watch me. I might put a two system in there as well. But if I want to keep them, and the other ones are coming up down there too, and if I want to keep them, then I'm going to have to thin them out. That's the best way. Even if you were growing in the ground, too many is not good. Less is better. Okay, let's see what we have to do in here. They're spiky. I definitely want to wear gloves. I want to do this before it gets too warm. Let's see, I've got one in a container, and that's not doing good. Flower. Let's see. Got one back there. This one in the front seems to be doing really well. Let's get rid of this one right next to it. It's got flowers, but I don't want it. Okay, so I got that one out. And then another one here. We're going to keep, oh, there's two. It's going to help. Less is better. This one's flowering. All male flowers. Oh my gosh, there's more. Another one. There's one, two. I'm going to try to keep the one that looks the greenest. Leaf out. Smart thing to do would be leave one. I am going to take this one out. Okay, so we got this one here. Looks really nice. Oh, this is the nicest. I'm going to take this one out. We're going to break this one. Take that one out. Okay, so I've got one here. Holy mackerel, how many did I take out already? So I took out 1, 2, 3, 4. Taking out 4. 4. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, there's 10 in here. Oh my goodness, no wonder they wouldn't grow. Let's go ahead and get this one. This one, wow. I might transplant that one somewhere else. But it's just too many. I am going to take this one out because it's growing in with onions. And that's not going to do good. That's got a nice root system, so we'll leave that. The onions are there just to put water in the tote, really. And I could turn that into a two system. Let me see. I could. I think I will. Alright, so we've got this one we're leaving because it's off to the side by itself. I could leave those two and pull the rest, or I could leave the one in the back. Either way, oh my gosh, there's 3 in the back. So I could leave these two, or I could leave that one. If I leave this one, it's going to be so close to this. He's going to pull from this one. This one's greener. Oh, I got a nice, I can move that one too, really easy. All right. Right now I've got 3 left. I don't want to even leave 3. You know, it could work. I'm going to take off any leaves if they don't need. I'm just going to push them back in here. I've got 3, and I know in my heart that it's too many in this tote. I could leave 2. My decision is which 2. And then, you know, if I leave the 2 front ones and turn the back one into a 2 system, I can get to that easier than leaving this one on top. Boy, that one's established really nice. Got a massive trunk on it. Let me see if I can lift this. I am definitely going to put a 2 system in here. Which one do I want to take out? It's going to turn big no matter what. I'm going to leave this one, I think. This one's got a yellow leaf growing. This one is wimpy. We're going to take wimpy out. See, it's got a little root system. Alright, so now we're going to leave these 2. And I'm going to turn this into a 2 system. Okay, now I'm going to have to put a 2 system in here and get both of these fit. So I'm going to pull this out. Let's see, does it fit? It's a little big, but it will work. Let's see how big it is for in here. I want it to fit in there. I'm going to put holes on the bottom here. Why? Because I want to make sure the earthworms can go up and down. And I want to make sure it drains good. Let's cut a hole anyway. I am not particular when it comes to the bottom, but you have to make sure that worms can go up and down. And that's good enough. Let me see where the holes are on this. Okay, the holes are there, the roots, and the bottom. Good. This is going to be pushed in here. I'm going to make myself room, make sure I can get this bucket inside the tote and level it off. I don't want this bucket to come out. It doesn't matter which way the hole, as long as it's level. That's it. Now, that 2 system, I'm going to just put stuff in there. I don't care what I put in there. Well, that might be too much. Let me see. Actually, it's fine. It's just a bunch of leaves. Here, I can show you real quick. Just a bunch of leaves and stuff from the garden. If you've got some kitchen scraps, you can do the same thing. I'm going to set that in there. And I like throwing some handfuls of dirt in. Don't put wood in there. It's just going to, you could, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to throw some handfuls of dirt back in there. Put the wood back off to the side. Okay, now, everything goes back. Believe you me, these are going to be really happy plants. They may not look like it. Let's see, anything have to come off? I should take some of the yellowing leaves off, but I might leave them for a day or 2. And then this, I do want to make sure this drains good. So what I might do on this one, I want to make sure it drains good. As long as the water's coming out of it. I'm going to take a little bit more off. See, onions have a big root system too. But they're going to feed off of that too, but that's all right. Now the onions go back in here. I now can add more in there. I'm going to water this. It's going to feed this plant. And oh, it's going to be really good. So now all I have to do for this is just water this. I can water the sides too. But this is going to water through, it's going to go into the leaves, and the worms are going to go up and down. There's going to be nothing left in that soon. So my battery ran out. So let me show you what I did. I'm debating on what I'm going to do with these squash because I have no idea what they are. If I want to get them planted today, I can put them in this bucket and just put a little water in there and plant them, or I can compost them. Here it is. I now made a full 2 system. Just out of flower pots. You can do it out of any flower pot. Those are actually floral pots that I get from a florist. Well, I haven't gotten any lately. Ask a florist because they get them in with their flowers. There's no holes and they usually throw them away. So ask. But anyways, there's a bigger floral pot here and a smaller one here. So as you can see, they fit in. So now you saw me put the leaves, a handful of soil from in there. I threw it in there. I will water the onions and it's going to constantly be leaching and breaking down and making plant food, compost in place, for these two squash. We'll see which one does better. They shouldn't struggle anymore. I mean, there's 2 in there, same type, whatever they are, they're hybrids. And 2 in here, but there were over 10 of them in there. They were packed in there, and that was too many. You can't put so many plants that are heavy feeders together in one container, even in the ground. You don't want to have too many together because you end up having less instead of more. You would think, oh, I've got 10 plants, I'm going to grow a lot more food. No, it won't work that way. They need good spacing. They need root space. They need to spread their wings. So 2 plants here will be perfect, especially with a compost in place. I've got one in here too. I have to pollinate. No, those are males. See, there's the other one in there. That one's got garlic chives, and there's your 2 pots. And now you saw me make it in minutes. I've got this done. You could do that too. You can use any container you want. Okay, so we'll keep watering this. And you know what? As cute as this is, it too is pulling. So we'll just have to say goodbye and compost that in. Okay, so now it's just the 2 plants with the onions. Now, I will let you know that walking onions have a pretty good root system. So normally I would put maybe now even some strawberry plants or something, but they're walking, they're doing good, and they're gonna feed in there with everything else, so they should be fine. And look, I've already got flowers coming up. And that one's got fruit, and they were growing at the same time, but it was too crowded. So this one has fruit because less is better. And that's what I'm trying to remember myself as I go along, because it's hard sometimes. You have so many beautiful plants growing and you don't want to take them out. I'll see if I can find a home for some of these. If not, this is how I create soil. So I hope I gave you some ideas. You got to see me work this morning. The sun is coming up now quick. I guess I better get in and get other stuff done in the shade because I've worked a lot out here. I've been working in my chair garden a little bit, kind of strung up some tomatoes. I can show you that on the garden tour, kind of analyzing what I'm doing in the meadow. But this was a major project today. This is what I wanted to do, and now I got done that, and I should get a good production of whatever squash it is out of these 2 plants now instead of close to a dozen. With that, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. Oh, and as you might not have seen, I went and just picked up whatever I could on the ground and put a topping. You could put any topping. This just helps hold moisture into the soil. I put a little bit there and a little bit around the plants. Mulching is always good to hold water, retain water, especially here in Southern California. Remember, always drain holes. Bye-bye. So there it is. It's been just 2 days and they're already throwing new flowers. Look at all this in there. This is going to be much happier. And then we've got the compost in place bucket, which I don't know if I can actually lift up. Oh yeah, oh my goodness. It's already breaking down that quick. I know there's earthworms in there. This works really quick. So any leaves I want will go in there, and that has a compost in place bucket. And those 2 plants should soon be as big as these 2 plants that I left in here. Wow, that's ready to pick. Isn't that gorgeous?